Beloved heart, take a breath. The weight you feel tonight is not your imagination. You sense that something is hidden, that words no longer match actions, that affection flickers like a candle pressed by wind. You keep asking why love that once felt genuine now carries shadows. You wonder if you misread everything or if truth has simply been buried. Listen, the universe, the spirit that breathes life into every soul, sees what is unseen. Nothing disguised stays hidden forever. Deception may weave itself quietly, but light has a way of finding every corner. The one you care for, yes, he loves you in his own measure, but somewhere along the way he stepped into illusion. He began believing half-truths that promised comfort while pulling him away from authenticity. That is the struggle you feel in the unseen space between you. He wears confidence like armor, yet his spirit trembles beneath it. There are things he has not confessed, not always betrayal, sometimes simply fear. Fear of being truly known, fear of losing control, fear of facing the parts of himself he keeps buried. Those fears have turned into small untruths, excuses, masks, stories told to protect his image. But the protection has become a prison. He is trapped in deception, and he does not even realize the cage he built. Do not let bitterness rise in you. Pity him, pray for him, but do not carry the weight of his choices. Every person must meet truth in their own hour. The spirit of truth is already moving toward him. Pressure will come, situations will shift. What has been comfortable will begin to feel tight. Lies always collapse under the gravity of honesty. The very thing he used to hide himself will soon force him to confront himself. You, meanwhile, are being protected. That is why doors have closed and conversations have faded. It is not punishment, it is preservation. The divine is separating you from confusion so you can stand in clarity when revelation comes. If everything had continued smoothly, deception might have rooted deeper. But disruption exposes hidden motives, and exposure brings healing. When truth begins to rise, it rarely enters with violence, it enters through gentle conviction. The spirit will whisper to his heart in dreams, in coincidences, in the quiet moments he cannot explain. He will remember your kindness and the peace he once felt in your presence. That memory will haunt the false peace he tries to build elsewhere. Slowly, light will enter the cracks. During this time, hold your heart steady. Do not chase, do not prove, do not beg. Stillness is your strength. Those who dwell in truth do not need to defend it. Truth defends itself. Keep living with integrity. Let your actions preach what words cannot. Your calm will speak louder than any argument. There will be nights when the ache tempts you to reach out, to remind him of what is real. Wait. Let the light do its work. If deception is to fall, it must happen through conviction, not persuasion. Your silence will become sacred ground where his conscience can finally hear the echo of truth. In the meantime, the Spirit turns to you and says, "Heal." You have carried the weight of another person's confusion, and it has drained your joy. Lay it down. Stop rehearsing the scenes in your mind. Stop trying to guess the missing pieces. You do not need to understand every lie to walk in truth. Freedom begins when you decide to stop living in questions and start living in peace. There is a reason this season feels like exposure. I am not only revealing him, I am revealing you to yourself. I am showing you how much you have tolerated, how deeply you have loved, how resilient you have become. What once felt like rejection is actually refinement. You are learning to see beyond charm, to value substance over words. This wisdom will guard you all your life. Soon, clarity will arrive. It may come through confession, through circumstance, or through a quiet knowing that settles in your heart. When it comes, you will not need to fight or prove anything. The truth will speak for itself. You will stand in peace, understanding why everything unfolded the way it did. Until then, keep your faith alive. Let gratitude fill the spaces where worry once lived. Thank the divine for the protection you cannot yet see. Thank heaven that truth is on its way, because when light comes, it frees both you and him. The deception that trapped him is already weakening, the walls are cracking. Hold on to hope, but hold tighter to peace. Love him in prayer, not possession. Wish him awakening, not punishment. When the truth is finally revealed, compassion will matter more than vindication. And when you choose compassion, you align yourself with grace, the same grace that is rescuing him from his own darkness. The night is almost over. Stay steady. Light is coming. Peace is learning to breathe even when the air feels uncertain. You are learning that now. Every time you resist the urge to chase answers, the universe, your creator, the one who sees, draws nearer to fill the silence with reassurance. In that quiet, something sacred is happening. You are trading anxiety for discernment. The person you love stands at a crossroads between honesty and habit. The patterns that once protected him now press against his conscience. He tries to hold two truths at once, to appear whole while feeling divided, but no soul can live long in contradiction. Sooner or later, masks crack. The smile that hides confusion will tremble, and what is real will emerge. It is not your job to remove the mask, truth itself is doing that. Your task is simpler but harder: keep your heart pure while waiting. Bitterness wants to grow where disappointment lives. Do not let it. Speak blessings, even in private. When you bless someone who hurt you, you free yourself from their chaos. You remind the world that love can stand tall even when deceived. That posture, quiet dignity, is how light wins. There is a law written deep within creation: what is hidden will surface when the time is full. You may think justice is delayed, but the clock of truth never stops. Every word spoken in secret gathers weight until it tips the scales. And when that tipping comes, the light does not expose to humiliate, it exposes to heal. The lie cannot survive the same light that grows flowers and melts frost. You, too, are being prepared for that moment. Notice how your intuition sharpens, how your sensitivity to peace increases. That is not paranoia, it is spiritual calibration. The more you stand in honesty, the quicker you sense when something is off. This discernment will protect you in future seasons. What feels like heartbreak today will become wisdom tomorrow. Do not be afraid of seeing clearly. Many fear clarity because it demands action. Yet you were made for truth. Truth may sting, but it never poisons. Lies may comfort, but they always corrode. When the revelation comes, and it will, welcome it with steady hands. Thank the light for showing you what was real and what was illusion. You will notice subtle signs before the unveiling, restless nights in his heart, inconsistent words, the sense that he cannot keep stories straight. These are not signals for confrontation, they are indicators that the old structure is collapsing. Keep still. Let the collapse happen without you trying to hold it up. When someone is trapped in deception, the fall is often the first mercy. Only when the facade breaks can repentance breathe. While that unfolds, I am weaving restoration in you. You once equated love with rescue, thinking your patience could redeem him. Now you are learning that love sometimes means stepping aside so truth can do its work. You are learning boundaries that do not cancel compassion but protect it. That is maturity. That is sacred growth. As you heal, new light will enter your world in other forms, fresh friendships, creative opportunities, unexpected laughter. These are not distractions, they are confirmations that life continues. They are signs that you were never meant to live in suspense forever. The story of your worth was never tied to whether someone else faced his own honesty. It was always tied to the one who called you whole from the beginning. There will be a moment, sooner than you think, when news reaches you, an admission, a revelation, or a quiet acknowledgement in his eyes. You will feel the familiar ache rise, but then calm will follow. That calm is truth taking its seat. You will not need to retaliate or remind anyone what you endured. The peace around you will say everything. And for him, the path ahead will be uncomfortable but redemptive. The structures built on half-truths will crumble, and he will remember the sincerity he once saw in you. That memory will guide him back to authenticity, perhaps not to you, but to the honesty that every heart eventually must embrace. Pray that he follows it fully. When truth sets him free, a ripple of healing will reach everyone connected to him, including you. So stay steady. Keep your lamp trimmed and burning. Keep choosing integrity when no one is watching. The light you guard today will become the beacon others follow tomorrow. You are entering the portion of the story where silence begins to teach more than words. The tension is easing, though you may not yet feel it. In the unseen realm of cause and consequence, truth is doing what it always does. It unravels lies one thread at a time until only what is real remains. The person you love senses the unraveling. Every day he tries to hold the image together, to appear composed, but the quiet questions keep returning. When he looks in the mirror, he no longer sees a confident man, he sees a divided one. He remembers promises made in the light and choices made in shadow. That conflict is no accident, it is the sound of conscience awakening. You cannot hasten this awakening, but you can pray for mercy to surround it. Pray that when his walls crumble, shame does not destroy him but humility remakes him. For that is how deception ends, not with spectacle, but with surrender. When he finally admits to himself what is true, the grip of illusion will loosen, and grace will step in. Meanwhile, your heart is being rewritten. You are discovering that faith is not waiting for someone to change, faith is trusting that light always wins. It is learning to bless even when you are misunderstood, to keep kindness alive when cynicism tempts you. These quiet victories are not small, they are the foundation of your next season. Look around, small signs of newness are already appearing. Conversations that lift your spirit, moments of unexpected laughter, a sense that the air feels lighter. Those are glimpses of the dawn. Every time you smile again, you reclaim a piece of yourself that deception tried to steal. Healing is not an event, it is a collection of such moments, tiny resurrections of joy. Do not waste energy plotting revenge or proving points. Truth never needs a weapon. Its power lies in inevitability. When clarity arrives, it will expose falsehood gently but completely. Everyone involved will see, and you will not need to say a word. Your quiet integrity will be its own testimony. If memories come to haunt you, treat them as visitors passing through, not residents. Let them remind you of how far you have come, not how much you have lost. Forgive yourself for believing what you hoped was true. That belief came from innocence, not weakness. Innocence is what keeps love pure. Never apologize for it. Soon you will notice that you can think of him without pain. That is the sign that the lesson is complete. You will bless him in your heart and wish him clarity on his journey. The light that exposes also redeems, and you will witness that redemption from a place of peace. And when the full truth finally stands in the open, because it will, you will not tremble. You will recognize it as the closure you prayed for. Whether it brings reconciliation or release, it will bring relief. You will see how every delay, every tear, every confusing silence served this moment of honesty. Hold on a little longer, beloved soul. Keep your hands clean, your words gentle, your spirit free. The deception that once clouded hearts is dissolving under a brighter dawn. When the last veil falls, you will stand in light, unafraid, knowing you never lost yourself, you found yourself in the truth. The season of waiting is almost done. You will wake one morning and sense that the weight has lifted. It will not be because anyone apologized perfectly or because every question was answered. It will be because peace has quietly claimed its place again. Peace comes when the soul decides to stop chasing explanations and start trusting divine timing. The person you love is still on his journey. His struggle is now visible even to him. He looks around at the fragments of stories he once used to shield himself and sees how fragile they are. That realization will hurt, but it will also free him. The same truth that once frightened him will become his rescue. In that moment of awakening, he will remember the way you always spoke gently even when you were disappointed, the way your eyes carried forgiveness even when your heart was tired. Those memories will not condemn him, they will call him home to honesty. Whether or not he ever stands before you again, that spark of sincerity will guide him toward becoming a truer man. That is what love's legacy looks like. And you, beloved heart, will not wait by the door anymore. You will have learned that your worth was never dependent on someone else's clarity. You will stand under an open sky, breathing freely, realizing that the same God who allowed this shaking also kept you from breaking. Every unanswered question will fade beside the certainty that you were seen, guarded, and grown. There will be new beginnings, unexpected friendships, creative work, travel, moments that make you laugh without remembering why you once cried. That is the promise of renewal. Life never ends in the valley of deception, it always climbs toward a clearer horizon. So walk forward now with open hands. Bless the past, but do not live in it. Thank heaven for the lessons that sharpened your discernment and deepened your compassion. And if he ever reaches for forgiveness, offer it freely. Not because he earned it, but because you are no longer a prisoner of the story that wounded you. Forgiveness is the language of free people. The light that exposed the lie has also revealed your strength. You are softer, but not weaker, wiser, but not hardened. You have discovered that love can survive truth, and truth can survive loss. That discovery is sacred treasure. It will guide you through every future relationship, every season of uncertainty. When you look back, you will see that the entire journey was never about who deceived whom. It was about the victory of truth, the endurance of love, and the shaping of a soul that refused to surrender to bitterness. You are that soul. You have crossed through shadow into clarity, and the dawn that now rises over you will not fade. Stand in that light. Smile again. Let the world see what resilience touched by grace looks like. The story is not ending, it is transforming. And as it does, may peace settle where pain once lived, may understanding bloom where confusion once grew, and may every lie that ever tried to bind you serve only as proof that truth cannot be hidden forever. Go in that assurance, the truth has come to light, and you are free. He is thinking of you again. The one who once turned away now finds his thoughts circling back to what he left behind. His heart, once proud and certain, now feels the quiet pull of regret. He wonders if it is too late, if the bridge can be rebuilt. You can feel the tug in your spirit. Sometimes his energy brushes yours like wind through a half-open door. But something within you hesitates, not from anger, but from wisdom. The same hand that once allowed separation is now guiding your direction again, and this time the lesson is different. The ache you feel is not a sign to return, it is a reminder that love is real but timing is sacred. God is redirecting your heart. What feels like nostalgia may only be the echo of healing. Once, you prayed for him to come back. You dreamed of reconciliation, of an apology that would make sense of all the confusion. But as you grew stronger, the prayer changed. You began asking for peace, for clarity, for purpose. And now heaven answers that deeper prayer, not by reopening the old door, but by revealing a new path. You are no longer the same person who once waited at the threshold. You have learned too much about your own worth, too much about quiet strength. The universe is not denying you love, it is preparing a love that aligns with who you have become. The old connection cannot hold the new version of you. He, too, is in a season of reflection. The choices that once seemed liberating now feel hollow. The attention he chased cannot fill the silence that follows. There is a part of him that longs for your steadiness, your honesty, your calm presence. But what he misses is the peace that surrounded him when he stood near truth. He is not yet ready to carry that peace himself. Until he is, reunion would only repeat the lesson. That is why divine redirection sometimes feels like delay. You think nothing is happening, yet everything is shifting behind the scenes. What looks like distance is actually protection, what feels like rejection is realignment. If he were to return now, before his transformation, he would bring the same patterns wrapped in new promises. You deserve more than recycled cycles, you deserve growth that matches your own. So breathe. Let him remember. Let him feel the weight of his choices. Do not interfere with his process. Love him enough to release him to truth. Your role now is not to reopen the door but to bless his journey from afar. Bless him that he finds wisdom. Bless yourself that you stay free. In time, you will understand why the path turned this way. Sometimes God redirects not because love failed but because purpose calls. There is work for you to do, dreams waiting, lives to touch, peace to embody. The heart that once broke is now a vessel of empathy, strong enough to comfort others who still wait at closed doors. That is the power of your story. Do not fear that you will never love again. Love does not end, it evolves. The capacity that once attached to him is being reshaped for something greater, someone whose honesty matches your healing, whose faith mirrors your own. The universe never removes without preparing replacement, it only clears what no longer supports your becoming. Keep moving forward with gratitude. Thank heaven for what was, even as you release what will not return. When he tries to reappear, and he will, you will greet him not with bitterness, but with calm certainty. You will know that forgiveness does not mean reunion. You will smile, wish him well, and keep walking toward the horizon where destiny awaits. Because the truth is this: what is meant for you will never demand that you shrink. It will recognize your growth and rise to meet it. Until that moment arrives, trust the redirection. It is not punishment, it is protection wrapped in wisdom, preparing you for love that will not have to be chased. You have walked through confusion and came out wiser. You have cried for what was lost, and those tears watered the ground beneath your next beginning. Now your spirit stands still and quiet, no longer desperate, only discerning. That calm is not indifference, it is freedom. It means you have healed enough to see clearly. He may come back with soft words, remembering the warmth he once took for granted. He will say he misses the calm of your voice, the safety of your presence. But as you listen, something deep within you will whisper, you no longer belong to the same moment. The love that once joined you existed in another chapter. You have turned the page, and the story has changed its tone. Redirection is not the end of love, it is the maturing of it. Sometimes the greatest act of love is to let someone face themselves. You are not closing the door in anger, you are closing it in peace. You are allowing both hearts to find truth in their own way. That is what grace looks like. It releases without resentment, it forgives without reopening the wound. In this season, you will feel a pull toward stillness. Do not fight it. Quiet is where the next vision will form. The same hands that guided you out of heartbreak are preparing a new chapter filled with stability, mutual respect, and spiritual alignment. It may come unexpectedly, in someone who speaks your soul's language with ease, who mirrors your kindness without taking advantage of it. You will not have to explain your worth, it will be recognized. Until that moment, keep walking with gratitude. Thank God for what you survived, for every lesson carved into your heart. Thank the past for refining you instead of defining you. And when memories resurface, smile at them. They are no longer chains, they are proof of growth. You will know the redirection was divine when you wake one morning and feel peace where longing used to live. The silence that once felt heavy will sound like music. You will breathe and realize you are no longer waiting for anyone to return, you are simply ready to live. That is when destiny meets you, when your hands are empty enough to receive what was always meant for you. Let this be your assurance: nothing real is ever lost. What departs was never meant to stay in this form. What is meant will circle back in truth, or it will be replaced by something better. Either way, you win. Because you chose growth over comfort, truth over illusion, peace over pleading. So lift your head, beloved soul. You have honored love, learned wisdom, and stepped into strength. The redirection was not rejection, it was guidance. The same power that separated paths is now lighting yours. Walk in that light. Walk in freedom. And as you go, remember, love that is aligned with God never asks you to look backward. It meets you where you are going, not where you have been. This is your closure, your release, your blessing. Go in peace. The future is calling your name, and it sounds like joy.